The Pistons are the basketball champions of the world.
Detroit, it's time. It's playoff time, Detroit. Let's go to work.
Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Buffs On Podcast. We are the best POD in the 313, and we're talking about the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons. They have been absolutely phenomenal over the last, 2.5 weeks. They're on a 9-game winning streak. They're 2-0 in the NBA Cup. They are first in the Eastern Conference. We started this podcast and went through a lot of downtime, so just being and experiencing this has been absolutely phenomenal. And if I were to just say, hey, we're going to talk about Paul Reed, Karis LeVert, and Daniss Jenkins on a podcast, you would have been like, oh, that team, I don't want anything to do with that team. But that team has absolutely surpassed all expectations, picking up huge wins over the Bulls and last night in the NBA Cup against the Philadelphia 76ers. Connie, you're first on my screen. What have been your thoughts over this last stretch of Pistons basketball?
Man, I mean, that first Philly game, casual. We had most guys there. Stu was out, but, most guys there. And then the next three games against the Wizards, Bulls, and the Sixers again, I was having, before those games, some serious flashbacks to Hamidou Diallo and Sadiq Bey going crazy.
Derek Walton Jr.
Derek Walton Jr. and just a team of G Leaguers losing every single game that they played. And I was not hopeful. When we saw those injury reports, and damn near the whole starting lineup sitting out, some bench guys sitting out, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna watch freaking Daniss Jenkins, Javonte Green go off, sure. And then we watch Daniss Jenkins and Javonte Green and Duncan Robinson and Paul Reed go off, and I think this past week has been a huge testament to JB Bickerstaff, because not in a million years would Monty Williams win these games right here. Not in a million years would he have these guys so ready and so disciplined on the defensive side of the basketball that they could pull these games out, missing so many guys and playing guys that truly haven't had any NBA experience. I love JB Bickerstaff. And this is his week right here. He should get Player of the Week in the NBA.
He should, and he should definitely have been Coach of the Year last year, and he's surely gearing for it this year as well. Valley, your thoughts on this recent stretch of Detroit basketball?
Yeah, the sense of togetherness and the work to the next man up mentality that is run 7 deep, that has run 6 deep. The determination to just find a result, the determination to just the instilled mindset to never give up just runs so deep with this team. And it's just stuff you dream of, I feel like, to be a fan of. That's what you want your team to be. Every single person who steps on the court for a Detroit Piston gives 110% all the time. They work for the guy next to them, and they just want what's best for the team. Like I love this team so much. I can't explain how beautiful it is to see how much they work for the guy next to them. Hearing like Isaiah Stewart, whenever, or anybody in a post-game press conference, it's never about them. It's all about how we're working together, how we're dogs, you know? I really think that if this team goes to the heights that they potentially could, like if we're looking back in the future and like we have championships from this, it's got to be known as the dog pound era. That's what it's going to be known as, because that is the definition of what these guys do. They outwork teams. Like what we've talked about it, like it's not the prettiest thing ever. At times it is, but like we just outwork teams. We out hustle, we want it more. We're dogs. That's why we win basketball games. But Connie's on the money. There's this success isn't here without Coach Bickerstaff. And it's just amazing how close he seems to be from our perspective with the team, the impact and the influence he has on the team. It's just been amazing since the day he's been appointed. You know, it's been a culture change and for the better. And to get the results with 7 guys out, with 6 guys out, and it's not just 6 guys. You know, it's Kate Cunningham, it's Jalen Duren, it's Jaden Ivey. You know, these are supposed to be our best players. Asar Thompson, they're out, and we're finding results. I want to give Gabe an opportunity here, but like I don't know. I've seen a lot of names for what we're calling Daniss Jenkins' run here, and they're trying to make a Lynn Sanity nickname out of it, whatever what you want to call it. Like we're witnessing some greatness right now. Daniss Jenkins has just been fantastic. I loved him and Maxey going at it, him and Drummond going at it. Gabe, your text in the morning was funny. You'll have to say it when I'm about to hand it off to you, but he's not backing down. This guy shoots the ball. He doesn't shy away from shooting the ball. He attacks the rim. He should get a lot more free throws. No respect from the ref as expected. But Daniss Jenkins has been called upon. He's been our only true point guard, and my goodness, he just deserves every bit of love you could possibly give him. We got discredited for not giving Kate enough credit sometimes, so let's give credit where credit is due. Daniss Jenkins, player of the week, perhaps. Just exceptional job running the point guard. Gabe, I want to hand it off to you. What did you say about Daniss this morning for us?
Yeah, he has in his post game interviews, he has those eyes and like not a hint of emotion, where he looks kind of like Joe Mazzulla saying like the most crazy, like outlandish things of like, yeah, I'm just here to like kill the other team, and there's no like joke, there's no smile, there's no nothing. This guy worked hard for everything that he's had, and it's proving now that all these guys, I don't know how many times Special K and George mentioned it, that like these guys are NBA players. They just need opportunity. Maybe except for Bobby Clintman, but maybe we'll touch on that later. I mean, taking us back through this week, Cade did play two of these games, and he had an awesome game against Philadelphia the first time out, 26-11. Just kind of was thrown like they triple teamed him almost immediately. They blitzed him. They blitzed the first option, but he really turned it on again and found a way to win that game. And then, I mean, against Washington, the guy set the NBA record for missed shots, but just an absolute Kobe performance. Like he had to take every shot. Ended up with like a 45-point triple double, and my rice is boiling over. So I'll hand it off and be right back.
That game, that is a game that really befuddles box score watchers. Because on one hand, he's the first guy to do like 45, 10, 10 with 5 steals since Michael Jordan. On the other hand, he missed 30 shots. But if you watch that game, I mean, I watched that game thinking like, oh wow, Cade could have very easily had 70 points tonight because it
Mhm.
was just like it was infuriating me just the layups just rolling off the rim where he was just creating good shot after good shot for himself and it was just rolling off the rim. But I just loved how he just kept fucking going. And then he really turned it on after a little punk move by Cam Whitmore.
Mm-mm. That was so dirty. I don't know how that's not a tech. I still don't understand.
And
And
that's
the fact that JB came away with a tech is
Yeah.
even more crazy.
And that's one of those things. That's like one of those like every like great player has those don't poke the bear moments, you know? It's like, oh, we were winning, we were doing this and that, and then one guy decided to fuck with LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, whoever,
Cade Cunningham.
Cade, and it was just over at that point. I mean, I love that game from him. I love that he was just like, I'm throwing it all. I mean, it was against it was against the Wizards, but it did remind me of some of the Kawhi Leonard playoff games against the Philadelphia 76ers when he was on the Raptors, when he would have pretty like bad efficiency numbers, but just grinding absolutely everything out of the offense that you can. Um, it was just I'm glad that there's that in him, you know? That willingness to be like, all right, shit, I'll take 47 shots. I guess so.
So what if I miss 45 of them?
Don't
Yeah.
matter.
No, it don't. He was and he toughed through that overtime period just after that fall. Um it was just an amazing performance from Cade, and we I think we've grown accustomed to seeing this. I think I saw something where he's on pace for like the second highest usage and lowest turnovers for the season. So we talked about it before the season started. Cade Cunningham needs to cut down on his turnovers, and he has done that tremendously. And as you mentioned, Connie, that's when he was being double teamed and triple teamed. It's been surreal to watch, not just this team overall, but Kate Cunningham too. Uh, Anybody want to give love to Cade like we always do, or do we want to shift over to some Jalen Duren love?
I just feel like I just want to say like I feel like we keep outdoing ourselves
Yeah,
for our best win of the year.
yeah,
Oh, like I'm reflecting on this and I'm like, was last night against Philly in the Cup our best win of the year? Was the game before, in a way, was it a game against Washington with Cade's heroics and Daniss Jenkins' heroics to close out the game? It's incredible what we keep managing to do because I genuinely feel like we keep topping ourselves. I would like to jump to two guys specifically if I could on it.
yeah.
And it's the guys, it's the Michigan guys. I want to talk about Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert. But I think there's a few aspects I want to talk about. But I just want to start with Karis first of all. He's really come along. He definitely has been playing himself into like conditioning, and just back to like 100%. It seems like Karis, and his 3-point shot has been ridiculous. And when it seems like when he gets hot, he's hot. Those two threes he hit to close out the third quarter against Philadelphia, especially the second one, ridiculous shots. Like I would be so upset if I was a Sixers fan and he's hitting those. But even against was it Chicago where we came back and we had a nice run in the third quarter and he just kept getting to the hole. He's been just great, Karis, especially with bodies down. It's been such a privilege to have an experienced player like Karis LeVert be able to come in and kind of steady the ship in moments. It's been great to get him back to 100%, I feel like, and I think he's still reaching that level. He's really fitting in nicely. Him and Coach Bickerstaff had a great relationship, and you can already see how much he trusts him in those moments. And Duncan Robinson, I want to start with one place actually where I feel like he usually gets discredited for, and that's the other side of the basketball, on the defensive side of things. I thought, especially in that second half against Philly, he's digging in. The dog pound is like affecting him. I
He
thought he was
blocked a
amazing.
three-pointer,
He
He
blocked a
did.
three. He jumped with VJ Edgecombe trying to baptize him, like, and I thought he was getting gritty on box outs and getting his hands just in there for rebounds. He deserves his flowers on the defensive end, which is such a rare thing. That's why I want to highlight that. I just feel like he's been getting grittier. And again, with guys out, such a privilege to have someone who can shoot the ball this much. And Duncan has just been on fire.
right? Oh my God,
Every R
yes.
slash NBA, I'm just seeing happy birthday, Duncan, and I get it now. He's been so good. Seven threes against I forget who it was, but just been shooting the lights out. Duncan Robinson and Karis
Bulls.
for me just
And
deserve a
it's
special shout
the
out.
it's the type of threes that
Yeah,
They're
work.
not
They're
easy
tough.
shots.
not at all.
We were a little concerned about him not being able to fill that Bees role of making like these impossible threes, but like now I was very concerned with Cade being out, like his difficulty of shot getting harder, and struggling a little bit, but him just taking like one dribble, pulls with the guy just fully underneath him, he's leaning forward, just slings that thing up, bang, like pump, like lean forwards through, shoot the three, bang. It is incredible the things that the way that he's shooting the rock right now.
Yeah, and like I've had the privilege of being at the last two games in person and just watch like I like you don't expect the shot to go in when he takes it in person. I can only imagine what it looks like on TV, but like when I'm watching him shoot, I'm like, there's no way, and then he just buries it. Like the difficulty on the shots that he's making is like insane, and he's a big part of the reason we've been able to pull out those last two wins. A lot of defensive attention has been put towards him. He's making the right reads most of the time. Yesterday, they were sending two at him every single time he'd come off of a DHO, and he would get the ball right back to Paul Reed, and just we'd play 4-on-3. We didn't do it as much as I would have liked, but I loved Duncan Robinson. I think we all appreciated that. Like, yeah, maybe he won't be as good of a shooter, make those difficult shots like Beasley does, which he's obviously proving us wrong about. But it's the more that he brings, and we were concerned about him defensively. He's answering those defensive questions, just holding his own. He said the team was calling him a hack because he fouled out twice in like
Yeah.
um, but he bounced back from that. And now now it's those passes, those little pocket passes that he's hitting the big on, so we can play 4-on-3. He's been a huge reason for for a lot of the wins and especially the last two.
All right,
Yeah.
I think that's about. Gabe, you got some on those two?
I just love the way he shoots. I said earlier on an earlier pod that Chaz is probably like a better 3-point shooter than him long term. That's just not true. Him coming up the screens, going right, he like it's so hard to guard because of his high release, and then going left where he like pump fakes and then jumps into it. I just know it's always going in. He hardly ever even touches the rim. And no, I mean Karis LeVert, he was slow to start. He looked a little bit washed, but like his ability to get to the rim is actually really impressive, and
He's
his
so
ability
quick.
to like find people off his pressure is also really
He's a
impressive.
much better passer than I was giving him credit for than I thought. He actually has the ability to run that backup point guard position, which I didn't think. I thought he was more of just a chucker sort of guy. Um, but
Speaking
I
of,
Oh,
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is if we've gone far too long in this podcast without mentioning maybe one of the best bigs in the NBA. Basketball is his name. Basketball is his game. B-ball Paul, man. Holy moly, I love basketball Paul Reed. Like, I love everything about him. I love I love that he's ready. He's the third string center, and now they're just asking him to play big minutes for a week, and he's just ready to do that. I
He's
love that
doing
he
it.
is enthusiastic to do that, and I love everything he does on the freaking basketball court, man. This guy can shoot. This guy can dribble a little bit for some reason. Like you said, he's got weirdly fantastic like moves down there. He had some great plays with Duncan Robinson, like you said, attacking on the closeout. He had a Euro step one-handed jam. He had a freaking 28-point game with a Michael Jordan-esque finish near the end of it, where he goes up and around and scoops it on the other side and makes that shot. I
That
mean,
was a crazy shot.
basketball Paul Reed is like he's just energy he's lightning in a bottle, man. Like he just comes out. He's like a like if you got like a guard dog on a chain. He's like barking. He's like ripping off and and people are like make. You ever seen like Tom and Jerry, where
Hmm.
there's that big dog on a chain and Tom's like fucking with him on the chain, and then the chain comes loose, and then there's just this big dog coming at you, and all that energy is still there, and I love. I love him on the court. I love him off the court. I love the shit that he said. I love every single interview. You know the belt passing out in the locker room after the game, man. His speeches, his handing it out. I can't get enough of Paul Reed, and it's a little sad that he's our third string center because we don't see that much of him. But
We've
man,
we've got to integrate him more. He's such an impactful player. I was talking with my friend, so I happen to have his per 36 numbers memorized in terms of his stocks. 3.1 steals, 2.2 blocks. And he's been producing just about exactly that as a starter. He just gets it done. I think at first a lot of the points I want to specifically talk about Vucevic guarding him, who was just in disbelief every time Paul Reed cooked him. Didn't guard him on the first three, second three in his grill, and I don't know if you saw his look back. It was pretty funny. He was just kind of shocked that Paul Reed just did that to him. Uh, Paul has just been sensational. Like, the interviews, every single time, every interview, post game interview, halftime interview, they're the best. I love the way this dude talks, the way he expresses himself. He's such a funny dude. But over everything, he's a dog. And we've seen, how highly his teammates speak of him in terms of calling him a dog, and he's just that. I still don't know why his jumper's so goofy. I still can't describe that hitch he has in his shot.
Yeah, I'd look like
shoots
Booch
it
as
from his
well if a
chest.
guy like that made a jumper on me.
Is he in your prettiest jump shots list, Gabe?
He's got just like a bit of a guard's game in him, the Euro steps, the bit of a passing flair. He's a good backdoor. He hits that backdoor bounce pass
So well.
really nicely.
So quick.
Not afraid to try things long, just gets it done. I loved his double pump reverse jam. The same game he had that reverse.
Yeah.
Just came up big down the stretch. Filled in with Stu and JD out. You could not ask for anything more from a third string center. I think we have to find a way to. I called for it earlier in the season. Give him a handful of minutes a night because he can just shake things up. He's gonna force turnovers. He's gonna work hard as hell and make things happen. Yeah, I'm glad we took the time to acknowledge how great Paul Reed, B-ball Paul, has been. what a run for Paul Reed. And did it against his former team. I'm sure he absolutely loved to do that
Yeah.
against Philly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he stepped up big time, and we've been saying it since the playoffs last year. Like when Stu went down, Paul Reed stepped in, and he played playoff minutes when he didn't get many minutes at all during the season. Um, he's. I think one of us said it when we were talking about like most underrated signing that this team has made. One of
That
us
was you.
was it me? I don't remember what I said before, but Paul Reed has been absolutely phenomenal. Um, I'm with you guys. I can't get enough of Paul Reed. Gabe, your thoughts on B-ball Paul?
Yeah, he's just been awesome. There's one play, I think it was the week before versus the Nets. He ended the game with like a behind the back dribble move, behind the
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
to Javante in the corner,
yeah,
who nailed the three. He just like pulls out these things where it's like, okay, yeah, you have no reason to be that skilled. The Bulls commentators absolutely loved him. I don't know the guy's name, but he always
Stacey
he's a good
King.
commentator. And yeah, they're just like they're kind of roasting Vooch for being too slow, but then yeah, I mean he's just been awesome. But I think as well as him, even before Cade went out, I guess starting at the end of the Wizards game, did Jenkins, who had the most improbable comeback, two huge threes,
mm-hmm.
getting us to OT, and then capping it off. I thought last night with that half court buzzer
Mm.
beater where the comeback seemed almost impossible.
That was insane.
Which win seemed more improbable to you guys? The Wizards win or the last game against the Sixers, where it seemed like our bench just kind of ran out of some juice, and then we found a way to win the game.
I'm I'm gonna have to say the Sixers win. Like
Same. I thought the
when they
Wizards.
started pulling away, I was like, okay, this is it. The
It's
Magic had to
too
run
much.
out eventually.
With the Wizards, I was like, we were like down 20. I was like, they're gonna come back. I don't know why, but I felt very calm and confident that they were gonna win that game. But with the Sixers, yeah, I was like, okay, it's too many guys out now. How many pieces can you take out from the Jenga tower?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, when they started pulling away in the third, I was like, "Oh man, that's unfortunate." And then I think we got like two back-to-back threes, and then Maxi hit the midi, and I was like, "Okay, maybe Maxi's about to go off here." Because when Jenkins was chirping Maxi, I looked over to my brother and I go, "This is either going to be really good or really, really bad." And Maxi did have a phenomenal game. He was hitting a lot of shots. He kept him in that game in the fourth quarter. But when Jenkins hit that shot from half court, I was like, wait a minute, something there still might be a little magic left, and
Do we
that was crazy.
do we think that there is a Jenkins Sasser debate,
I
or
do.
has Jenkins taken that spot?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I, or is it still Sasser's spot? I don't. That's a
I don't know.
discussion I guess
I
we
think
can
it's
have.
not theoretically the most important thing, but I think it's Dennis right now, like for sure. There's no reason it wouldn't be Dennis. Like this is like he might end up, unfortunately for us, but I could see this being a spark for him getting like a long-term NBA career. And that could, unfortunately, with our stars being Ivy and Cade, that it could be elsewhere. But that would be, amazing for him and he deserves that. I looked at his Wikipedia and his background, like his college career is kind of crazy. He played for a lot of different teams. So that would be great to see. Obviously, what undrafted or second rounder? He's undrafted, right?
I
On
think it's undrafted.
Either way,
Calusa, yeah.
I just hope it is the best for him. But right now, it's got to be Dennis. I don't know. This is like we can't
Sasser,
understate. This is great point guard play. Like he's getting his teammates in too. He's
the
he's shooting
passes
the
he
three
He
makes
he
high.
makes the cross court pass like when he
so
gets
well.
the
Those
screen
skip
and then he hits
passes
Yeah,
the corner on the other side of the wing on the other side. He makes that really well.
with his left hand, which is
Yeah.
so difficult to
specifically
do.
one to a guy I just want to say for a second, Javante Green.
Yeah,
Didn't look like he could make a wide open layup his first few games as a Piston, but 21 points, insane. And we don't win that game without him. And him hitting three threes in the second quarter was crazy, including
which
that
is funny.
1 3 off that pass. But one note I think I really concluded after these 3 games is we need an expansion team so bad in the NBA because there's just so much talent, man. There's just so much talent because these guys are just I don't know. Maybe it's just Coach Bickerstaff getting the most out of them. One other point I have about Maxi, 13 for 31, not the most efficient night, and 10 for 26 both times we beat them. So
Quiet.
All right, you
Clint,
got
Yeah,
Clint. You
what
got
did Daniss say? What did Daniss say? We are nasty boys.
boys.
That's
nasty,
who
I
we
love
are.
it.
They
Is
sure
there
are.
anyone else in particular you guys want to really hammer home on, or gave it over to you perhaps, or maybe you wanted to talk about Bobby?
Oh, Bobby, man.
Yeah, nah. It's kind of disappointing. What's this guy that we just re-signed? What's that guy's name?
Wendell?
Wendell
Oh, and
played
no
more
more.
minutes than him, played over him, played pretty well, but yeah,
Pretty
kind
Wendell.
of disappointing. Tolu Smith played pretty well in the
He
Always,
played
dude.
really
That
well.
guy's. I
yeah,
love
Hmm.
Tolu Smith.
his first like real NBA action. I thought he did well.
Good rim
Um,
presence, yeah.
on Dennis, the only thing like I think he needs to improve on, which I think he will because he's so strong, is just to like finish through contact. Value you mentioned he could get more free throws. He also just missed a lot of like layups when he was like I don't know being pressured a little bit. I think that would be his next step. But I think the a reason he could be ahead of Sasser is just his size and his like defensive strength. And unless Sasser comes out here and just starts lighting it up, like we know he's capable of, but see if he made an improvement, he could be a trade piece. I think to make a like moves around the margins because I don't like. Markkanen, JJJ, these guys are like linked to us a lot, but I don't think we're breaking up this team, especially after what we just saw. Like
Mm-mm.
we're deep, so I think only like Wendell Moore type of guy, maybe Sasser now has become expendable to make a move along the margins.
For sure.
I,
Have you guys seen these trade rumors of Anthony Davis to Detroit or the mock trade?
We're not doing anything. I don't think there's any moves around the margins we're making. I think we're just keeping the gang together. I
hot
I
take
genuinely
I,
is
think
I
that's
I
just
want to
it.
do
like
that. I don't
I,
want to.
And I hope it is.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
those trades. But
You wait.
The
You
AD
want to do the
trade.
AD trade?
yeah, what was it like Tobias, Ivy?
Do in future firsts.
Oh,
Hell,
it's Stu?
never in a million.
No, you can't have Stu
No, no,
too.
no, no. You can't. I can't get rid of
I
Stu.
got one more thing Danis could work on, which is about the 8 foot floater that he will sometimes beat a guy and then be right in front of the rim and then just completely clank the floater. The floater is not great. He still gets his own rebound a lot of the time, but he has the touch, so I can
Yeah,
see it
and
coming.
I want to see him drive more with his left hand. I feel like, I mean, he's right hand dominant. I feel like when he gets to his right hand coming off a curl and just puts his head down, he can get to the basket. But if he can improve that left hand drive a little bit, I feel like it would open up that right hand a little bit more too.
Got maybe just one more question before we could maybe move on to Gabe's our trivia questions here. But um, any concern for Ron Holland?
I was
I
gonna
think
mention that
I
as
think a
well.
lot of people
No
have obviously
concern.
taken a huge step here, but his efficiency is
I got some
4 for 15
concerns.
last night. Just I think he's looked pretty bad. Amit, you say no concern.
I'm not concerned. I
Tell me why,
mean,
because I'm
I
concerned. Assure me.
I think the last two games are what have stood out to me and how poorly he's played. But those last two games are not with guys like your Cade Cunningham, your Jalen Durans, right? You sometimes he's a young dude. He's like what 19, 20. He's not ready for star level play right now. Um, maybe he's trying to do too much out there. Maybe he's putting so much weight on himself with these stars out, Asar, Tobias, Jalen, Cade, where he's like, oh, I got to play well defensively. Oh, I made a foul. Let me try to make up for it offensively. Oh, I missed a three. Let me try to do more. Um, I'm not worried about it right now. I want to see him play again with um, his more of his role coming off the bench, being that energy guy with Stu, just doing what he's got to do, not
Yeah.
trying anything fancy, just do what he's got to do. And I think once he reels himself in a little bit, everything's going to be back to how it was, and he'll figure out who he is.
I'm a little concerned.
Okay.
I mean, he was 3 for 15, 1 for 4, 4 for 11, 4 for 15 this past week. And I mean, as an open court, as a defensive guy, I really loved his defense. He's really been able to shadow guys very well and just match their
Mm-hmm.
movements. Defensively, he's fantastic. Out in the open court, he's fantastic. Half court offense, he's a bit of a, I don't want to say a dud, but he's been kind of a dud. He does get on like some offensive rebounds sometimes, some tip outs, but like we thought there was some jumper improvement there. There seemed to be. They don't seem to go down.
Yeah, they're not
Uh,
going down as often anywhere. And the other thing is on there was a drive yesterday where he had an open man in the corner and he just decided to go with a contested by two guys layup instead of the open kick out. So I'd like to see more kickouts when he's
yeah.
barreling towards the rim.
He's having trouble creating advantages, even though he is so fast. The handle doesn't seem that tight. I'm a little worried about his role in an offense, but at the very least, he's an incredible hustle guy defender, you know.
Seems to kind of get tunnel vision for me when he gets in kind of a position, not even like on a fast break, but just even in a half court offense when he has a look at the hoop. Kind of just seems like, all right, I'm going to the hoop. Expects contact, I think a lot of the times. Could maybe get some more whistles, not gonna lie, but also just kind of expects contact. I think going up a little weak sometimes.
And he
Oh, yeah,
George mentioned it earlier, like
exactly.
stop doing the double clutch. Like I
Yeah.
think like it's just become so natural for him that he just does it and doesn't always need to.
That was the thing I wanted to mention about Asar the week before as well, where felt like too often they try to do like a get cute and just kind of like elevate and go around the defender. Like just go up and over them and just attack. That you'll get more calls if you go straight up and not like shift away. And then like Cade did to Drummond, you'll just yam on some people as well.
Oh yeah.
But also like his like little close range teardrop thing that he like that dropped a lot, I thought, earlier in the season and last year as well. It's kind of I don't know. I think it is just too much of an offensive load, like you mentioned, Ahmed. I'm not worried really because if he's only playing 15 to 20 minutes, then that energy is a lot more worth it, like in a smaller ratio of playing time. But yeah, I'll be glad when he's not starting anymore. I think that conversation has been closed. He is not ready to start over Tobias.
No, he's not ready. Maybe Stu is. I was surprised when I mean, can we talk about Isaiah Stewart coming back yesterday before we move on to Gabe's 5 questions? Like it was so nice to have Stu back.
Yeah, to close out the game with him was just a you could just it just felt so much better. Like no discredit to Tolu. Tolu was great. But to have the ability to close a game with Isaiah Stewart, defensively, unlucky not to get that block on Grimes. I really thought he got him. But big game. Loved his three-pointer he hit, little one dribble pull up, step up. Yeah, just nice to have him back. Such a solid player.
Hit a couple big threes. And you could tell in person, like guys, like there's two types of guys. There's guys who are like, oh, this guy's a good rim protector, let me challenge him, and there's guys who are like, oh, this guy's a rim protector, let me like find plan B. So I saw a little bit of both yesterday. So it was nice to have Stu back. Anything else you guys want to touch on? Any players before we move into Gabe's trivia?
Lay the trivia down.
Let's go.
All right, this is mostly based on just like the commentary I heard and little quirks that George and Special K mentioned. They mentioned this guy numerous times. Question one here. I'm not exactly sure how to spell his name, so if you give me kind of what it sounds like, what they say, I'll take it. And I guess you guys can all try to answer. Who is the Pistons quote unquote numbers man? Who George
Joe
and
Joey
Special
Abramson.
K always think.
Joe Abramson or
Yep, right on first try, Joe Ederson, whatever, yeah, whatever his name is. Good guess, good guess. This was put on a graphic of last game, and it's since increased by two. How many and ones opportunities have we had? Because we lead
39?
the league.
what'd you say, Connie?
39?
Close.
Oh,
37?
it was 37 on the graphic. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
it was 40, I think, on the graphic, and now it's
Oh,
42.
Oh, they've showed that
Because we
multiple
had two
times.
more after there. We had three that game, two more after the graphic. Valley, you mentioned this earlier in the pod. Can you? This will be for each one of you guys. Ahmed, why don't you start here? Name a college that Jenkins went to.
Oh, I can't do that. Damn, I have so many. I don't
He
know.
went to four.
I don't even
Did he go to
remember.
Iona?
Yeah, Iona was his second to last.
Patino. Yep. That was a good Iona team. A lot of guys made it out of that team.
He followed that coach where, Connie?
Oh, brother, I couldn't
Dude,
tell
I
you
don't.
that.
Hold on.
I know they struck lightning in a bottle in Iona one year.
No, it was pretty. Wait, hold
Illinois,
on.
Southern.
St. John.
St.
Yep,
John, that's the one I
St.
knew.
John.
Yeah.
That's
St.
the one I
John.
knew. Damn it. I knew that.
I don't think I know enough. I
He
don't think
started his
that
career
was his
at
last one, right?
Pacific. Yeah, that was his last one. He started at Pacific and then went to Odessa and then Iona and then St. John's.
I
Crazy.
knew St. John.
Yeah, what is this a traveling guy. Who leads the team in steals per game?
Is it Javonte Green?
Quick graphic that popped up. No, that's what I thought as well, but no.
Is it Paul Reed?
Also, no, it's the obvious answer.
Is it Star Thompson?
Yep. 1 point.
Okay, but easy with this to psych us out.
All right, and then this was also from last night's game, and then I have one more quick bonus question.
Okay.
Who was Special K told to run through when they went to screen him on their out-of-bounds play back when he was in the NBA?
Oh, I would listen to commentary this week. I'm out on
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you wouldn't know.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Sean Kemp.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he said, I couldn't do it. I just respected him too much. I wasn't going to run through that screen.
What a guy.
And then bonus question, how many Javantes are in the league?
Javonte Green.
I'm amazed if you get this right.
8.
Can you remember another? Do you even know what's another Javante?
I don't know.
Javonte.
We've got less than a minute left on this, by the way.
All right.
I'm going to say 1.
I'm going to say 2.
Correct. There's
2?
Javonte Cooks on Portland, 2-way guy. All right, let's skip the Pistons. Guess that Pistons for next time. Quick look at the schedule then.
We will not have time for it.
All right.
Wrap us up, Amit.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Buffs On podcast. The Pistons are on a 9-game win streak. Bodies down, Buffs on. The future's still bright.
Pacers, Hawks, Bucks.
Win.
3-0.